Yo, 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 what's going on? It's Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, TBKC, and all that other good shit. Look, man, I've talked about aggression before. Excuse me, but I've talked about the traits being allowed with our dogs because of where their origins come from. And it's controlled aggression. You don't want a straight psychopath, but we don't penalize a dog that's a little bit on the growling side, a little bit more aggressive, towards animals, not people. At no point in time, under no circumstances, are these dogs supposed to be aggressive towards animals. Sorry, people. But I tell you one thing, that really, really we have to understand about the breed is that it is so important for us to breed towards the characteristics of the breed. The characteristics of this breed is that it comes from some dogs that generally might be a little more aggressive. Do we promote that? No, but most of the time, if you're selling dogs to a family who's not into breeding or anything like that, you don't want to sell them, your American bullies if they have 5 or 6 dogs and they plan on putting them in a pack and just having them around the house and this, that, and the other, unless they're super experienced. If these are some people who've just been a pet owner, especially like a smaller dog that's a little more high energy and chirpy and that type of thing, you don't want to give them a dog because, from my experience, American bullies, unless you have a level of ability to socialize these dogs to a certain degree, they don't really always do well, especially with small dogs. Small dogs tend to have bad energy. They have more to prove. They're a lot more chirpier. They try you a lot. And even if you have a good bully that's one of those dogs that's very, very relaxed, like a couple of my boys that's super relaxed, I've seen them where they get to the point where, they're done with it. I seen Denzel snatch a dog by the face and the dog ended up having to get damn near 100 stitches. And that's not his characteristic, but the dog just kept needling at him and kept messing with him. It was another bully, actually. But, we have to be careful because it's not the dog's fault. And, and there's certain breeds that we're going to get into more and more with the TBKC. And understanding these dogs' characteristics are going to be very, 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 very important for everybody. I know Rottweiler puppies are pretty and they're cute, and Doberman puppies are definitely cute little puppies, and South African Boer and the Tibetan Mastiff. These are monster dogs, though. A lot of people want the Tibetan Mastiff because they talk about the Tibetan Mastiff because of what it is. Very, very impressive. It's a status thing. It's known for being the highest price selling dog in the world. They're big. But this is not a dog that you just want in a high activity family. And what I mean by that is, if you're one of those people who have 1 million people coming to your house and you put on a lot of social events and there's a lot of kids coming by to see your kids, a dog like the Tibetan Mastiff is not a dog for you. It's just that simple. And this is my opinion. The Orchova is another one that's not a great dog to have in those situations. To be realistic, I've had my friend has him now, but I've had a South African Boer. And the one thing about them, beautiful dogs, they're very alert, they do a lot of things, but these dogs have a tenacity that's different. So if you have all this activity, the dog becomes a headache because it's going to protect this area. It's going to let you know that this is my area, this is my family, I'm here to protect at all costs. And they have a switch, and they're not really sociable dogs. It's not the type of dog that you're going to have laying around with everybody's kids and it's at the barbecue and you're putting, no, that's not what that dog is. A lot of Rottweilers are like that, especially if you get from the Schutz and lines. These dogs have a purpose, and their purpose is they're protection dogs. They're workers. So to try to turn that dog into, just I'm gonna lay on the corner on the pillow and do stuff, that's not what that dog is for. If that dog senses a threat, it's going to go at it. It's going to do its job. And we need more responsible owners that understand the purpose of every dog. The German Shepherd, that is a protection dog. That dog, yes, they can be good family pets, but your family dynamic has to be a dynamic that fits the dog. The dog is not going to transform itself to fit your family dynamic. So when you're going out to get a dog, read into your dogs heavily and understand what these dogs are. You know, we did a lot of talking about the giant schnauzer the other day. The giant schnauzer in itself, people look at him and they're very, you know, it's a pretty dog. You know, it's got the goatee, you know, the silky, wavy black hair. He's a sexy guy like myself. But at the same time, he's like myself. He'd kick your ass because this dog is really a protection dog. No matter how he looks, he can get after it. The giant poodle, as pretty as they are, they'll shave them up, they'll turn their tails into a ball, they in a ball in the chest, they just gorgeous. That dog works. That dog works very, very tough. Very, very tough. Y'all laugh when I'm talking about a giant poodle, but trust me, I mean the standard poodle, but trust me, that dog will go. That dog will put in work. He's not a punk. He just looks like that. He ain't no punk. Dalmatian is another dog. Dalmatian, a lot of people don't understand with the Dalmatian. The Dalmatian itself is a dog that the original purpose why the firefighters had Dalmatians is because the Dalmatian was actually there back in the day. You know, they had, what would you call them, like carriages type of thing. It didn't have trucks, but they left all their equipment on there. It was exposed and stuff. Those dogs were actually protection dogs. They left the Dalmatians out to make sure that some people didn't come on their trucks and were stealing all the stuff off of their you know, I keep calling them trucks, let's just say truck. But that's what that dog was for. That dog will get after it. Disney sort of dropped the ball on that. They made 101 Dalmatians and people went crazy. Oh, they're so cute, which they are. All the spots, a beautiful dog. But that dog is a killer. That dog, I mean, to be honest with you, the Dalmatian, and I'm pretty sure you're going to have some Dalmatian people want to come on here. Oh, my God. But the truth of the matter, my experience with Dalmatians is that the Dalmatian is actually a little more tenacious than even the Doberman is. It wants to bite more. Every Dalmatian that I have run across wants to bite. They serious dogs, man. They not no cute, cuddly dog just for your kids. That is a serious dog. It's a lot of dogs that have a certain look, and you have to know it. You know, we're not just gonna talk about the American Bully, but we're gonna talk about, you know, we talk about every dog. If you got a very, very active family life, you know, and you want to go out to the park and you want to play with your dog and run around and stuff like that, you shouldn't get an English Bulldog, you know. That's not what he's built for. He's more of a chill back, laid back, controlled climate type of, you know, player. That's how they're bred nowadays, you know. If you've got chickens and stuff like that, you don't want to get in the Lapahai. And the Lapahai is a natural, you know what I mean? He's a natural predator. He's gonna go and snatch up your chickens. A lot of the bullies is like that. They still have that prey drive in there, and they're gonna get after your chickens and after your livestock. They're not the kind of dog that you're gonna take a picture with sleeping with your chicken. You know, some people put these pictures up on the internet to try to make the dogs look more cute and cuddly, and what we don't understand is that special training and special circumstances that allows these like the bullies to be sleeping with cats and all that. Most bullies ain't with that shit, you know. A lot of bullies are sociable with each other because of good breeding. My dogs stay with each other, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it's a system at my house. You know, it's a system, and everybody knows the system. This one can't go out with that one. That one can't go out with this one. You got to make sure that she doesn't go by her cage, because she'll try to collapse the cage to get in after her. Some of my dogs, although you can trust them with everybody in the house, you can let them out. I don't care if it's the little kids or whatever. I don't have a problem with the dogs being around the little kids or whatever. I don't never leave them alone with them because I don't trust kids with the dogs. I trust the dogs more than I trust the kids, because my son Easy had been and poked a damn dog in the eye or something crazy, hit him over the head with a phone. You know, and I'm trying to, you know, I got some teaching to do with him on how to handle the dogs, you know. But y'all see pictures where, you know, my dogs lay down and literally, even the biggest over 100-pound dogs, they'll lay down and let my kids rub all over them, and I'm sitting in there to supervise it. But at the same time, those same dogs that will literally fall asleep and wrap themselves around the kids, which is going back to the heritage of the nanny dog, the Pitbull, you know, they love kids. That same dog is a dog that at times I done had to bust across the head with something and put myself in there to try to break them up from snatching up one of the other dogs. This is the life, you know. A lot of people want to be ignorant to the fact or want to hide the fact, but you have to understand the capabilities of these dogs. You have to understand what you're doing with these dogs, what the dog is bred for. You know, we all love puppies. Puppies is a beautiful thing. You know, I'm addicted. I still be over there. It be Clumber Spaniels and shit like that, dogs y'all wouldn't even think I like. And I'm still over there like, dang, I wish I could get one of them. Maybe when I buy a bigger house, a little more land, I can get me one. But that's from being a dog person. But I can handle damn near any dog. But you, in your lifestyle, you have to buy the dog dictated by yourself and your lifestyle. You know, how much space do you have? How much time are you going to have? What is your situation? How much time can you give each and every dog? How much time can you work on having, if you've got 2 or 3 of them, having those dogs in a pack to where they get along and you socialize them with each other and you're raising them with each other so that they are getting along. You teaching them on the food aggression and different things like that to, you know, to be able to be handled. You know, can I go in your mouth? All of these things, because the worst part about these things is we understand the dog's natural abilities, but then it goes down to what we do with them. You know, some people put the dogs in a cage and they're in the cage for years, you know, I mean for months and months and months, pretty much not getting enough socialization at a tender age. And what happens is now the dog is considered a nuisance or a bad dog when he gets older, when the reality is that it's the owner that failed the dog, not the dog that failed the owner, because that socialization needs to be put in at an early age. All of my dogs, I'm not one of them people, I don't do all the peanut butter and shit like that. If I got to give a dog a pill, I literally take my hands like this and I'm down their throat and stuff the things down them, shut their mouth, rub their throat. All my dogs know I'm putting my hands right in your mouth, inside those big jaws, and I'm doing that, but it's because of the time that I've worked with these dogs. You know, my dogs won't bite me. You know, I put my hand in their mouth. They, you know, I don't care if it's their food. I put my hand right there by their food. They know, no, Dad's here, I'm chill. You know, even the baby, and I have a 1-year-old, you know what I mean? He goes over there and I'm trying to teach him how to feed the damn dogs. But my 1-year-old, you know, can't even talk. But the dogs are so patient. They won't test him. They won't test him. He gives them their chicken or whatever, and he sits it down in front of them, and the dog just sits there and waits and looks up. And then I've taught him now that he says go, then that's when the dog will eat. But you know, this is all about the whole circle of being a dog owner, from the beginning when you start doing your research with a dog to the end, understanding the characteristics of your animals, you know, because these are the things that will change lives and change the statistics. Because if you pick the dog right, if you socialize the dog right, you know, if you do all the research, you'll have a good, stable, healthy animal that can be integrated into your family. If you just are buying because it's a cute puppy, it'll end up in the pound, or you'll end up with a massive accident. It's just that simple, you know. These dogs grow, you know, and if you're picking the wrong thing because you like the look, it can be very dangerous, you know. I know a lot of the true dog men, you know, they want to mix protection breeds and stuff like that. And I think that even that in itself is dangerous, because you need years to understand how these mixes are working, you know. Just because you have 2 sound mind Schutzin type dogs that can take their commands, break their bites when they're supposed to. Now you're integrating breeds, and it's a different profile of genetics that are mixing. That shouldn't be put out into the public until you truly understand what the end results are after, you know, probably a couple generations, you know. And I'm going all into other stuff, but the main thing I'm telling y'all with this video, and I know I've talked my head off on this one, is that be responsible, man. Do as much studying, do as much work, and I don't give a damn if you're buying a poodle. As I've told y'all, certain poodles, the bigger boys, can be something else. But do your work and understand if this fits into your family. You know, do you have time for it? Do you have all the things that you need to do to make this a good thing? Because the last thing we want to see as a registry, as a dog person, you know, is to see more and more dogs end up in the dog pounds. And I will tell you this, and I know this works against what a lot of people believe in our community, but check it out. If you want a dog to love, and I'm gonna end this video with this, if you want a dog to love, our humane societies, you know, rescues, they have dogs there that are dying to be loved. Every dog doesn't have to be a high profile, big time pedigree dog, you know, for your bragging sake. There are dogs there that, you know, you would change their life. They would greatly appreciate that you take them home and make them into a family pet. You don't have to go and spend, you know, a lot of money on a dog just to say that you have a certain breed, you know. Go in there and show some love if it's truly about the dogs. And if you and your family want a pet, save yourself the money. Get you a nice dog from the dog pound sometime, man. You know, it's worth it. Until next time, much love. God bless all y'all. Peace.